Hi and welcome to episode 85 of the This is Reportage podcast. My name is Alan Law. I'm the founder of This is Reportage and This Reportage family, and I'm a photographer too. The brilliant Sara Paolucci is my guest this week, and we talk all things documentary family photography. Based in Italy, Sara really knows her stuff. She was ranked in our top 50 photographers in the world on This Reportage family for 2020, and she's also a judge for us in Collection 5. We cover so many subjects today, including how she became a documentary family photographer, why she never regards herself as being a fly on the wall, her love of public speaking, the power of Instagram stories, our Netflix synopsis game, vacation photography in Rome, birth photography and the story behind one of her specific Reportage Family Awards, and so much more. Oh, and by the way, this was recorded the day after the Euro 2020 or 2021 final, so that's the game we mentioned at the beginning. Hey, Sara, how you doing?
Hey, Alan, I'm fine. How are you?
I am good, thank you. Yes, all good. Although I'm a little bit disappointed about last night. Did you watch the football last night?
Of course I did.
Yeah, well, congratulations to you. You definitely deserve
Thank
it.
you so much.
It's an exciting game though, wasn't it?
Oh, yes. When there's such an important game, we usually gather with friends, have dinner together, and I have to say I suffered all day for that. First because there was also the tennis match with
Yes.
Italian Berrettini.
Yeah, did you watch that?
Yes, I watched that as well.
Did he win the first set, did he?
Yes, the first one. Yes, I think he won 2 sets.
Okay.
But then, he lost. But it's such an important result. And the speech he delivered after the game was absolutely brilliant because he had some very nice words for his competitor. And I think Djokovic is a sort of god of tennis. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so focused and wow. While the football match, I was really suffering on that too because England scored at the second minute.
Yeah.
And it went so fast, and I was like, "Oh my God." I think we were all shocked in the beginning. And can you imagine the psychological pressure of playing after that?
That's so true. Yeah. Oh, it was awful for me to be, well, for England, I think, to be winning so early because we're not used to that at all. So it was really strange. Oh, and then those penalties, I feel so sorry for the English players who missed them, but so proud of them, and they were so brave to take them, I think. So yeah. I thought I'd be more disappointed. I'm just happy we got to the final and we did so well, and Italy, you definitely deserved it. You were the better team last night. You were.
I think they both played very, very well. So it was a nice game to watch, honestly.
Yes. Yeah. Although I find it so hard watching England. I'm just like, it's so nerve-wracking. It's so nerve-wracking.
And my daughters, they fell asleep because they're very young. They are 7 and 5, and I was waking up them. Hey, we won! Italy won! It's like a crazy mother,
Oh, that's a good way to wake up, though. Oh, that's cute. My children were kind of dozing a bit as well, so they're similar ages of 6 and 9. So
okay.
Yeah, it was what a day, what a night. But yes, congratulations, and it's a great coincidence that I'm speaking to you on the day after that match. It's cool.
I was thinking about it. I was like, oh my God, now he's gonna ask me some very nasty questions.
That's true. I'm saving those for later. Okay. No, that's funny. That's funny. So yeah, do you live in Rome, or are you near Rome, or whereabouts are you in Italy?
I live in Rome.
Oh, wow.
Now I am at the seaside with my daughters, but I was born in Rimini, which is on the other coast of Italy.
Okay, cool. And what is your story, Sara? Let's start at the beginning. How did you become a photographer? What's been your journey to this point?
I started when I was very young. I was 13 years old, and I was playing in the darkroom at school. And then, photography was always a part of me, but it was more like a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I think many of us started after giving birth.
Right.
Because, I had the time to stop and think who I wanted to be as an adult. Although I was 34 at the time.
Right.
And it happened that I had this very big crisis because I think I wasn't ready to become a mother. And I had this very, very strong baby blues, which lasted a few months.
Okay.
And so I grabbed my camera and it became a sort of obsession to me. It's like I couldn't do without it anymore because it was like a sort of, it is a tool for communicating my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And I also started looking for photographers because I want some photos of my family. And I couldn't find any photographer because, in Italy, documentary family photography is not known like at all.
Right. Okay.
So the only thing I could find were lifestyle photographers or newborn photographers, and they make these beautiful photos, but that was not what I was looking for at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted us in our real life, and I didn't want the idea of Pinterest of us.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
So I bumped into Kirsten Lewis.
Oh wow!
And
Just bumped into her, just not on the streets or something.
I saw her on a Creative Live
Cool.
a few years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it was she was a sort of revolutionary to me because she was talking about miscarriages and all the things that happen in real life, and so I started to mentor with her. And
cool.
My very first family shooting outside my family was with her.
Oh wow, cool. In Italy still, or?
Yes, in Italy.
Cool.
She came to Italy. We went to Florence together, and she gave me a very good imprint on how to shoot for other families. She was a very good mentor for me.
That's cool. That's a great way to begin your journey.
Oh yes, absolutely.
What a great first mentor. That's brilliant. And what was that like? That first family shoot that you did? Were you nervous for that?
Not really. It's strange because I am an introvert person, and I am shy from time to time. But at the same time, I'm very curious, and I really enjoy being with other families and getting to know them. And I don't know. It's probably it's strange because if you see me around bringing my daughters at the park, I'm always the kind of person who stays by herself, by themselves,
Right.
and I'm not talking to other mothers. I'm kind of I don't know. I stay on my own world,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I enter the door of another family, I feel part of that family. It's strange.
Yeah, that's great though. I wonder what that is about. Is it something about having the camera with you makes you feel? I don't know, because I'm similar to you. I'm quite introverted, I think. But then when I turn up, say at a wedding, I feel, yeah, more like part of what's going on around me, and more just ready to socialize and be part of it all. I don't know what is that about. I don't know.
And for me, it is a strange, honestly. But at the same time, I wouldn't be able to do if they didn't ask me to do so. So let's say street photography is something hard for me.
Right, sure. I get that.
photographing strangers, it feels awkward to me.
Have you ever done that much in I bet Rome would be a magic place to do street photography, but have you not really done it much? Or
I've started in the beginning doing something, and it was challenging, and then I just quit. And because I'm not really into street photography anymore, I realized it's a part of the growing process, and who I am. I'm not interested in street photography anymore.
no, that's cool. It's a funny thing. The whole street photography thing is like, I think if you're a photographer in inverted commas, you're supposed to love street photography. And yeah, I'm similar to you though. I don't have a big love for it. It's but you're supposed to love it, if you're a photographer. It's got that sense about it. Do you know what I mean?
I know, because everyone is, I don't know. I think it's part of the growing process. I can tell you, a couple of years ago, I started a mentoring program with a photojournalist. And when I remember when I was talking to him, I was like, I want to learn how to make complex compositions and stuff like that. And he was looking at me, didn't say anything. And then he said, okay, but why? Sometimes when you want to convey a message, simplicity is the best option. So why do you want to do something complex? Because in the beginning you think that you want to take that wow photo that maybe doesn't mean anything. It's just perfect light, perfect composition, but that's pretty much it. And so now I want to go further that. Right. I feel, I don't know. I think it's part of it's part of the growing up process.
That is true, isn't it? That's such good advice, I think, that photojournalist said to you. It's so true. I think, you're so right, though. It is part of the process. We grow as photographers. We see all this work that, some of our photography idols or people we admire put out. And we think, I want to do really complex stuff and that. But at the end of the day, all that matters is that I think you're photographing things that are true to you, that you love, that really excites you. And for some people, that will be really, complicated compositions. But for others, it's, just moments, powerful moments, real moments. And anyway, sorry, I just talking a lot there, but that's all good. It's all good.
I think that photography is something very personal at the end of the day.
That's true, isn't it? And after you did that kind of mentoring with Kirsten initially, and you went to Florence, did that family shoot, how did you then kind of progress? Did you create your website kind of straight away? And how did you go from there?
I started photographing friends, and just I wanted a good portfolio. I mean, it wasn't that good at the time, to be honest. In the beginning, it's like it's terrible. I was like shooting everything. That's the kind of approach we have in the very beginning. You think you have to shoot everything.
Yeah, that's so true.
And then you realize that you have to take a lot of poses to think about what you want to photograph. Mm-hmm. So it's so I started that way, and then I'm fairly new to the business of photography because I've opened my business, I think was 4 years ago.
Right.
So I had let's say a good start because I started selling some shootings, and then it doubled the next year.
Yeah, great.
So the trend was very interesting, and then the pandemic happened. So it was like this big all of nothing, and
that's such a shame because you built quite a momentum from early on in your business. Then that's such a shame. Though.
Yeah, I think last year was terrible for everyone. I think I don't know. Well, for everyone working in the photography business, at least. And but okay, I've practiced, studied, and in the meantime, I started a project on my daughters during the pandemic, because honestly that was the only thing I could photograph because I couldn't get out of my apartment. So
sure.
And while this year started very, very well, and I'm quite surprised from one side, but I think it's also the result of communication job I've done in the last month on 2020. So, people I think they are tired of all this pandemic thing. And many families, the ones that were not hit but by the pandemic, in terms of in terms of losing jobs or stuff like that, they didn't know how to spend their money, because we couldn't go to the restaurant, we couldn't travel, we couldn't do anything. So they tried to experiment something different, and this is the year I sold my very first ear in the life.
Oh wow, gosh.
Yes, it's incredible. I had a very, very busy June, and now I am working on an editorial project. So at the moment, my working life is very full, and I'm very happy with it.
That's great. That's great, Sara. That year in the life as well. That must be super exciting. And what does that what does that entail for you? How many times will you be shooting them?
4 times.
Right. Cool.
It's just for me. It's my basic package of year in the life.
Right.
You need to have at least 4 shootings within 12 months.
Right, sure. Is this a family that you've done a single shoot for before, or is it they've come straight in and no? Oh, so cool! Straight in and booked a year in the life. That's so cool.
And it's not in Rome.
Oh wow, cool. Where is it?
It's near Naples.
Oh wow, nice. And do you know how they found you? Because I was going to ask, because earlier on you said that, when you started to look for a photographer for your own family, you said how kind of documentary family photography in Italy didn't really exist, or not so much, So how are you getting found? How are you getting your bookings now for your family work?
Now they are partly word of mouth, friends or families I have already photographed, or Instagram.
Oh,
it's
wow,
crazy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
great.
like, last year I started I started recording video of myself and putting them into my Instagram stories.
Oh, yeah.
And, I felt in the beginning, I have to be honest, I felt ridiculous. I was like talking to myself. And sometimes my husband was at home, he was looking at me like, you're crazy. And I was like, don't look at me like that, come on. And I was like recording like 5 or 6 times the same 30-second video.
Oh, I can understand that.
It was a nightmare. And I did a couple of stories also while I was traveling on the train. Can you imagine the other passengers looking at me? Look at her, she's talking by herself.
Feeling sorry for you. It's funny. And what kind of things were you doing for those videos? Just kind of like behind the scenes, your life of what you're doing that day, that kind of things, or what were you doing?
Yes, it's behind the scene, but it's also part of my personal life, because what I have realized is that how can you ask other families to let you enter into their intimacy, and they don't even know how you look like. They haven't seen your face before.
That's a good. Or not heard your voice before, and maybe.
So this helped a lot. And I realized it because after I started recording these videos, many people started to write me and
Oh, wow.
sending me photo of their children or their chickens. So true story.
That's a different niche, a documentary chicken photographer.
So, and I got also invitation. Oh, why don't you come with your daughters visiting our family? You know, it's so cool. And the goal, I think that the goal is to engage an honest conversation with the people who follow you. And
Are you still doing the videos then now?
yes, I mean, in the last 1 or 2 months, I haven't done so much because I was really overwhelmed by work, and it was a lot. And I had no, I didn't have the model release for those families.
Right.
I couldn't share a lot. But
Do you get that quite often with your work, where the families don't want you to show the images?
Yes, the majority didn't want to. The majority of the family I should don't want to share their photos online.
Okay. I understand that, obviously, but it's such a shame for us as photographers, isn't it, as well, I think?
It is. It is. It's such a pity because I have so many photos that I'd love to share, but I just can't.
Oh, I get that. Yeah, I get that.
I understand it from one side because if you think about it, we enter such a level of intimacy that some people want to keep it for themselves.
Yeah, I understand it. I do totally understand it. I think it's great what you did with the Instagram and the Instagram stories, and it's something there that that kind of appeals to me. But I think I'd be like you and kind of recording things about 10 times before I'd be happy with it at the beginning. When you record videos now, do you just not do so many takes? Because you've been doing it for a while. Can you do it just in one take and you're happy with it and you post it?
If I do something like that, I'm usually like, okay, I don't like it.
Yeah.
No, it is improving. Now what I'm doing is I'm writing down what I want to say because I want to be fast and go straight to the point.
That makes sense.
Otherwise, you lose people. You lose people interest during this part. They just skip it and whatever. So if you want to make it interesting, you have to go straight to the point and be fast. And it's a matter of practice. And I have to be honest, I love public speaking.
Oh wow, do you? That's great. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that sentence. I love that. That's so cool. Wow. Have you done quite a lot of that in your life then, have you?
I've done one for an Icon Italy.
Oh wow, cool.
When they launched their mirrorless system a couple of years ago for the Z6. And it was amazing. I was freaking out in the beginning because I was like, oh my God, and now I have to talk to my audience were like probably 50 or 60 people. And they were 99% male in their 50s.
Okay.
And I had to talk about documentary family photography. So I said, okay, I have to make this interesting for them. How can I do it? So I have practiced my speech several times. I knew in advance what I wanted to say, of course. And it went so well. And I was so happy with it because at the end of my speech, I had so many people coming to me, shaking my hands, asking questions. And I know, to be honest, I think it has to do something with ego. because it feels so good, you know.
Oh, that's great and so deserved. And I think that's so good that you enjoyed it. And as you say, to get that feedback afterwards of people coming up to you and saying hello and saying how much they enjoyed it, that's brilliant, Sarah. That's so cool. And did you actually enjoy it? Did you enjoy it as you were doing it? You know, as you were doing that speech, were you enjoying that moment?
Yes, a lot.
Oh, that's
A
great.
lot. I was like, I was shaking before grabbing the microphone.
Mhm.
But then when I started, I was like, yes,
Oh,
this
that's
is what I
super.
want to do. You know?
That's so cool. That's so cool. So I love that. You should do more then, especially if you enjoy it like that. And people obviously really enjoyed it. So yeah, you should do more. I guess the pandemic has been a difficult time to do kind of workshops and conferences and things, but they will come back more as well, won't they?
Oh, yes, I want to do them. And also, do you remember when Clubhouse was released?
Oh yeah.
So in the beginning, I used to love it. I have to be honest, because I was like, "Oh my God, yes, I can speak here." You know? I
Yeah.
cannot go out, but I can do that here. And I've done one and just one, and I have gained many Instagram followers from it.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
great. Are you going to do more of those Clubhouse kind of talks then?
but I think it's a dead social media right now. Is it only my impression?
Well, no, I think you're probably right, and I've read things about how it's kind of lost all kind of momentum. And we did one. This is Reportage chats, but that was before Android users could use Clubhouse, and it just felt a shame to be doing a chat where only iPhone people could listen in. So
Yes, that part was a little bit. I don't know. I don't know why they didn't release it for. Uh,
yeah, Android at the same time. I know. I think that was a big hurdle actually, which
yes.
but yeah, I don't know. For me, using Clubhouse, I found I was getting far too many notifications all the times and like pings and things. So that kind of put me off it a bit. But yeah, it's so cool to hear someone who really enjoys talking like that. Because yeah, I get so nervous, Sarah, so nervous about that kind of thing. So it's great that you.
Even when you do it, while you're doing it.
I don't know if I'm trying to think back. You know, I guess my workshops when I do them on my own. No, I do enjoy it once you start. You're right. Once you've got into it for a little bit, I do enjoy it. But the nerves for me beforehand, I just don't know. It's horrible.
Yeah. That's true. You know, I think that for everyone, that is a common part. Being nervous before, but probably the key to me is showing how enthusiastic you are about what you do.
That is good advice. That's so true, isn't it? Yeah, that is so true. Passion means a lot.
It's like, it's like in photography at the end of the day. If you're bored, you will take boring pictures.
That's a good quote as well. You've got loads of great
think?
quotes. Yeah, no, it's so true. It is true. It's so true that, yeah, if you're not enthused about what you're doing, yeah, definitely it shows in your images. So, and so that's the same when you're a speaker, I guess. Yeah, it must be the same.
Yes, I think so.
Sorry, let's change tack slightly. Let's go a bit different.
Okay.
Okay. Do you watch much kind of Netflix or movies or anything?
I have Netflix, but I have just discovered something else, and I was like, "Oh my God, I have to do this. I need this one. This is better than Netflix."
Oh, what is it?
It's MUBI, MUBI.
Oh,
Have you
okay.
seen it?
I've heard of it, but I don't have it. No. What is it? Films or series or both? What is it?
Yes. It is about selected films.
Ah, okay.
So I enjoyed Netflix, but series to me are too long. You know, especially if a series is very long, it takes time, and I don't have all that time. And after a while, maybe you started that you're very enthusiastic about it, and then you're in the middle and it's becoming too long. I prefer movies, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. And so MUBI, what is it kind of? So you say they're kind of curated films then?
Yes, yes. It's a curated film section, and I'm as I'm going back to Rome, I want to start my free trial, and maybe I will just quit Netflix and
Oh, wow.
and so this the other one, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Cool. Well, I should check it out. Well, the
Oh,
one.
you should. You should.
Yeah, I will actually. I think there's an app on my telly because I've seen the MUBI logo. I think so. Yeah, I should try it. Okay, well that's good because the questions I was going to ask you, they're mostly movies today. So we're just going to do a little game where I say the synopsis of a film or a series and see if you can get the title.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's good fun. Yeah, are you ready? Are you ready for your first one?
I will fail on everyone. Okay, go ahead.
That's okay. So quite a few have failed, and also it's all good. I don't think I would get these, but no. Okay, so the first one I've done because it's actually set in Rome. It's a movie that's set in Rome. I think quite a lot of it. I think. So okay. So in late 1950s New York, Tom Ripley, a young underachiever, is sent to Italy to retrieve Dickie Greenleaf, a rich and spoiled millionaire playboy. But when the errand fails, Ripley takes extreme measures.
Okay, was the title the Talented Mr. Ripley?
Yes, boom, straight. Yeah, that's great. Well done. I wouldn't have got that though, I think. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Is it good? I've not seen it.
It is good. It is.
And it is set in Rome, isn't it? I read it's set in Rome.
Sorry?
It is set in Rome, isn't it? I think I read it was set in Rome, the film.
Partly, but I think that if I remember well, partly was recorded in southern Italy.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, that's a great start though, Sara. That's boom. That's 1 out of 1. That's so good. That's great. Okay, let's go on to your second one, which is a lot old. This is an older movie. Okay. After a space merchant vessel receives an unknown transmission as a distress call, one of the crew is attacked by a mysterious life form, and they soon realize that its life cycle has merely begun.
Is that Star Wars?
Oh, no. It is set in space, though. It is set in space.
You know what? I am very bad in... how do you call them?
Sci-fi, kind of?
Now I don't have the English word for it. The kind of movies which didn't represent reality.
Oh, okay. Yeah, kind of like fantasy or science fiction.
Yes, fantasy movies.
Okay.
And it wasn't my kind at all, so I skipped almost everything.
Oh, okay. So this is a bad genre for me to ask you.
But I got into that only recently. Okay. And I've started reading some fantasy books, and they are so mind-blowing. And I thought, okay, I want to be in their head for 5 minutes.
Oh, that's cool.
How crazy would it be?
What kind of fantasy books have you been reading?
It's a mix of fantasy tales, so they are different authors.
Okay, cool.
And I wanted to buy something. I was thinking about buying some books because I also started a sort of game with my daughters before going to bed. We are making up stories.
Oh, cool.
And they are all, they are very strange stories. Something like a child with a spider body, all this kind of stuff. And every time it's like I start with a sentence and my daughters go ahead with another, and they go ahead with another one. And
that's really nice.
The result is so strange. And my husband is listening to me, is like, "You're crazy." And then he leaves.
That's funny. Oh, that sounds a nice thing to do at bedtime, though. That's really nice, I think.
It is.
And if by the way, this film, though, that this question is, it's Alien, the film
Alien. All right. Oh, and I have seen it.
Oh, you have? Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's a long. It's late. Is it late 70s or early 80s now? It's quite a long time ago, isn't it? That film?
I think it was probably end of 80s.
Oh yeah, maybe it is end of 80s. And the main character is called Ripley, and the first question was the talented Mr. Ripley. So there's a nice little link. Anyway, okay. Anyway, 1 out of 2 is still good. So are you ready for your final one? Final one, Sara.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is a series though, so you may, if you don't watch many series, so you probably may not get it. But let's just see. Okay. When a spy tracks down a stylish assassin, the hunter becomes the hunted. A bloody, funny thriller about 2 women lethally obsessed with each other.
Okay, I haven't seen this series.
No, cool. It's Killing Eve. Killing Eve.
All right.
It's good, but still, 1 out of 3, sorry, is good because a lot of people have not got any, so that is good. That is good.
Okay. So I should be proud of myself.
Definitely proud. Yes, definitely proud. Let's go back to your photography, Sarah, and a quote from your This is Reportage family bio that I wanted to ask you about, and you say, While working, you have never regarded yourself as a fly on the wall. So, yeah, can you tell us more about that and your approach in general? Because I know, some photographers think they need to be that fly in the wall kind of character. So, yes, what's your general approach when you're shooting a family?
Yes, I've never regarded myself as a fly on the wall because I feel part of that family. That's what I was saying before. And if you want to be part of the family, you have to engage with them in a very honest way. I think that there's no answer on how to do it because it's something very personal. For me, most of the time, the keys are children because I am very drawn to childhood. And I have to be honest, as a mother, I struggle a lot with playing with my daughters.
Okay.
I don't know if it's because my parents never played with me, and I got bored after like a very short time.
Okay.
But at the same time, I really enjoy watching them. It's like watching a movie at the end of the day, and it's because when you watch them, you realize they live in a complete different world, and their way of seeing is it's flipped out. And it's the same for every child, and it's good because they have to live their childhood that way. So when I enter a family, I start to talk with children, and they are so open, so relaxed. Even the one who are a little bit shy, after 5 minutes, they start to show me their toys and their drawings and everything. And they are curious about me. And after, let's say, 30 to 40 minutes, they just go back to their life. They don't care about me being there. So that is why I'm saying I don't regard myself as a fly on the wall. Also because I get very close to my subject when I want to take a photo.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I think you need confidence to do that. If you stay far, I think that family is perceiving a sort of, I don't know how to say it, but it's like if you keep yourself physically far, they feel discomfort.
I get that. Like they're kind of like they're being spied on by an outsider, maybe.
Yeah, it's like you're not part of them. You're like an intruder at some point. You know?
That makes
So
sense.
if I want to make intimate photos, I have to get close, and to get close, I have to engage honestly with them. So how can I be a fly in the wall? I mean, you can say that you become a fly in the wall after you engaged and they don't care anymore about your presence. That makes sense.
That's true. I think that's really good advice, honestly, that how you do have to engage and for them to trust you and just accept you there. It would be strange if you were really close to people and never saying a word or never interacting at all in any way. It would be really weird for them.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I think that's really great advice, and it's the same, and I think that's universal for kind of any documentary coverage as well, and it applies to wedding photography as well. So, I'm similar in that way. I shoot very close with a 25mm around people, and yeah, I just love the kind of intimate moments you can capture that way, rather than being standing 20 meters away with a 200mm lens on.
Yes, and that is the reason why one of the reasons I prefer using prime lens, because I force myself to move my body and get close instead of just zooming in,
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a major thing. And yeah, when I moved to primes years ago, exactly the same as you. Just it does make you move, doesn't it? I love that. And you just physically being around people, you anticipate moments a lot more than if you are physically far away. I think you really do. So it's great.
Yes.
And Sara, one of your most talking about intimate captures and intimacy. One of your most recent Reportage Family Awards is from a birth session. It looks like it's from a birth session. I'm pretty sure it is from a birth session. It looks like a water birth, I think, and it's such a beautiful image in connection, love, and support and new life imminent. Can you tell us more about that shot?
Of course. Okay, I was shooting for this woman. She's a midwife.
Oh wow!
And she's working in a very well-known hospital in Rome, but she chooses to give birth in a maternity house. Is it called maternity house?
I think. I don't know what the exact phrase would be, but that makes sense. Yeah.
And because she wanted a cozier environment, and I mean it's different from giving birth in a hospital.
Okay.
The feeling is just different, and I love that she had this very positive approach towards her body. She felt comfortable in being completely naked in front of me. She didn't care.
That's cool.
And so her husband. So they were both naked inside the pool. And I have to be honest, there is a lucky part on it, because the only available light was a tiny lamp. And their moment of connection happened exactly in that light.
That's cool. Wow, but you saw that. It's not luck. You saw that moment, and you were there to capture it and frame it beautifully as well.
Yes, I was ready, and I was really, I don't know how to say, overwhelmed, and I was absorbing all those emotions at the same time. So I was like trying to calm down and be focused, but at the same time I got really emotional.
I can imagine.
I really love doing it.
You're just talking about being emotional. And being overwhelmed. I can only imagine. I've never done any birth photography, but I totally understand how overwhelming it must be. It must be a really intense
It
experience and
is.
something
It
so
is.
special though as well. So special. Have you done much birth photography?
No, that was my very first one,
Oh
and
wow.
birth photography will never be a big part in my photography.
Okay, cool. Why not?
I think it's too binding for me,
Right.
because you have to be available for 24 hours a
Mm,
day, and take enough time not to do anything. And having two daughters, a family, a
mm.
business,
That's true.
I
Totally
think,
get that.
I mean, you can focus on just birth photography. Doing both is a little bit, I don't know. For what I'm doing right now, it's too much for me.
Mm,
I really enjoyed the experience, and I really wanted to share those photos around, while at the same time I was a little bit concerned, because I realized that birth is something very personal, and
mm,
it's not the same for everyone.
mm.
I have friends who had a C-section,
Okay.
and because their expectation on birth was different, they suffer for it. So I think that I didn't want to convey this image of birth, which is perfection, because it's not.
Hmm.
Let's be honest, it's not. And
Mm.
it's different for everyone. So I've shared these photos, but I always want to stress out this point. Birth photography for me, it is the experience. It is mostly your first encounter with your child, but the way you give birth doesn't make you a better or a worse mother.
Oh yeah, so true, so true. Oh, but it's so fab hearing your thoughts about all of that and that specific image, Sarah, and it's magic that you captured that. I just think it's an awesome thing to have done. What a special thing to have given, that those parents as well. Amazing. Yes.
Yes, since I have started working with family photography, I always thought about taking the photos I wanted for myself and my family.
Mm, mm.
And one of my biggest regrets is not having the photos of my birth.
Yeah, yeah, I understand that as well. I wasn't a professional photographer, whatever that means, when my first child was born, really. Oh no, I just started actually. Yeah, I just started. But yeah, I didn't photograph the actual birth bit as well. I have to say, just to be honest, I'm just totally, I'm so kind of just a squeamish person. I found it hard enough just to be with my wife when she was giving birth, let alone, I don't think I could have photographed it. I know that's bad, but I just can't help it. I felt so useless when she was giving birth as well. It was a weird thing, but anyway, I don't know if I could do it. I just don't know if I could do it. Yeah.
I think it's a common feeling among men, but at the
Mm.
same time, you're not useless. It's like it's the psychological support means a lot.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. No, that's awesome. Thanks for talking about that image. And if anyone's listening now, do head to thisreportagefamily.com or thisreportage.com. I'll include that image that reportage family wore that Sarah just spoke about. Sarah, as well as your family sessions and your day in the life, you also offer vacation photography in Rome, which is just cool, I think. Can you tell us a bit more about that specifically? How long have you been doing that kind of vacation photography?
Oh, since the very beginning. Since the very beginning, and I have started with a couple of families in the very first year, and then something I haven't even advertised. If I think about it, just started to go on by itself, because through word of mouth, I have documented vacation sessions for many American families, and they were like old friends. It's crazy. So
yeah, I was just wondering, what do you mean, like through words of mouth? So like one family will have a holiday in Rome and they've booked you, and then they tell, they recommend you to their friends and things like that.
Yes, isn't it crazy?
Yeah, that is. It's awesome though. It's really cool.
It is. It's like, wow. I got so many inquiries like, oh, you photograph my friend's family and we want to do the same. We're coming to Rome. Oh, that's great.
Wow.
And yeah.
Is it mainly international tourists then, or have you also photographed Italian tourists in Rome?
So far, I've done. They were all coming from the United States.
Okay, cool. It must be. I've never done vacation photography. I think it sounds great because the family were all just excited being in obviously a brilliant place like Rome as well. And I guess it's like a normal family session, but you're just following them around the different places in Rome. Do they ask you advice on where to go and things?
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they have everything planned by themselves.
Okay. Cool.
And if they need help, I can recommend tour guides. I know.
Right. Cool.
So, and
sorry, talking over you. I don't mean to talk over you. Is that?
These are like advices. I'm not working, specifically with tour guides or restaurant or or anything of these services. But if I can honestly recommend something I have seen myself and something that works, especially if you have a family with children, I have no problem in doing it.
That's really cool. And the sessions themselves must be just fun and relaxed, I guess, because, as I say, they're in a holiday mood and, just want their family captured whilst in Rome. I think sounds great. I just wouldn't know. I think maybe a problem, a difficulty of it is that maybe a lot of people don't know that, vacation photography is even an option to have. Do you know what I mean? It
is true. Because many people, if they think about vacation photography, they think about a couple of posed pictures in front of the main buildings. Mm-hmm. And that's it. But there's so much more. And if you want, you can, as a documentary photographer, you can capture the spirit of the day, and it's great because I start in their hotel room. So they get ready. We have breakfast together, and then, and honestly, I have started discovering Rome with them.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, through different eyes, through like that's cool.
Because if you think about it, are you in London?
No, I'm in the very southwest of England, actually, in Cornwall by the beaches. But
okay, it's like when you live in a place and you have everything around, and you're just like, okay, I will do it one day. I have time, and you never do it at the end of the day.
That's true. But now you are. That's great.
Yes. Well, I cannot wait to start again because the last 2 years. With the pandemic, it's like gone, completely gone. And now we are, I don't know, it's completely unpredictable here, to be honest, because people who are coming to Rome, foreign people, they are coming mainly for business purposes, not really for vacation. And I'm so hoping to see them again and to start again in doing it. Let's see how these vaccines work or not.
Sure, fingers crossed. It's looking, it looks so much more positive, doesn't it? But fingers crossed, they come back and you get to do more of that work. Do you think as well, have you, the American market must just be more open to that as an idea then, I think, maybe, which is great. Do you, as well as getting word of mouth bookings of your vacation work? Have you tried like doing search engine optimization or anything for like, I don't know, like vacation photographer Rome and things like that?
Yes, I have to be honest, I'm not very good in this kind of technical website stuff.
Right.
I hate it, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, I get that.
But I am working on a project on documentary vacation photography, and hopefully I can say more in a few months.
Oh, okay. That sounds exciting. That sounds cool. That's very cool. Well, all the best with that. That sounds great. And yeah, Rome, by the way, I've only been to Rome once. I went for my wife's 40th birthday a year and a bit ago, and just loved it. Magical place. So cool.
You should come back. It's not that far. Come on.
No, that's true. Yeah, I'd love to meet you. It'd be great. But just loved it. It was we only went for 4 days, but just we didn't really go to big things. Like we just only walked like around the Colosseum, didn't go inside, but we stayed just by kind of like the Spanish Steps. Is it Spanish Steps? Is it?
Yes.
So we stayed. Our hotel was just right up there, and just beautiful meals. Oh, and the ice cream. The ice cream is so good. Just magic.
So when you will come back, I will give you a list of places that shouldn't be missed.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, that would be so cool. Okay.
And we'll share a coffee if you like coffee.
Yeah, I'd love that. Oh, I'd love that, Sara. Yeah, that would be awesome. Okay, let's change tack again slightly, Sara. Okay, if you had 24 hours totally to yourself to do whatever you wanted, and money was no object, what would you do? That's a big one.
I'm laughing because right now, what I would love to do is go back to Rome in my empty apartment, enjoy the silence, put the air conditioning on, and reading a book for 24 hours, or maybe watching a movie by myself.
Oh, I get that. Did you say you're at the beach at the moment with your family?
Yes, with my daughters, and the schools are closed, and they are like fighting 12 hours per day. And it's me and my husband, and we are like exchanging ourselves going back to Rome, because I cannot work here with them. It's impossible. So every time I go back to Rome, and I stay even like 10 hours in front of my computer, but as soon as I enter the door and I hear the silence, this is a vacation, and I forgot to eat. Because, when you are a student that you don't even eat, or you eat at midnight, you just don't care about anything. Mm-hmm. I feel like a daughter when I am by myself. So and I'm like, oh my God, I'm coming back alone just to work. And I feel on vacation. It's crazy.
Oh, that's funny. I get that. I get that.
So at the moment, that's my goal.
That's your goal. Oh, that's funny. No, I can totally relate to that kind of thing as well. That's funny. Sorry, I've just glanced down. I thought we'd been talking about half an hour, but it's almost an hour. This is just, and I always say this, but it does just fly talking. It's been. So I've still got time for one more question, if that's okay with you.
Okay.
Let's go. Quite a big one, I think, to end, and I think people would. Oh, I know. Build up the pressure. Well, I think people would love to hear this from you. So, if someone was just thinking of starting out now, as a documentary family photographer, what advice would you give to them? If they're brand new to it, they realize this is something they really wanted to do, what advice would you give to them?
Well, first thing I would say is that define your goals. So what is that you want to reach? Who do you want to be? Let's say in 1, 2, or 3 years from now. And that is a starting point. And what are then you have to define this next steps, step by step, how to reach your goals. Mm-hmm. And what I would suggest is find a mentor, because no book, no online course will value the same as a personal path you have with a mentor who can focus on you. So once you have a good imprint from your mentor, you can start developing your voice. And how do you reach that? It's through practice. And, when you know the rules, once you know the rules, you know how to break them on purpose.
That's cool. I think that's all really. Sorry, I'm just smiling back here. I'm just nodding because that's just such all great advice.
I think that's the best way to start. If you start with someone you trust and someone you admire, and it doesn't mean you have to be like him or her. It's just, it gives you a direction, and then you can go by yourself.
I think that's great advice, Sara, and that's really good advice all round. And the whole session, that whole hour of talking to you, you've given such great advice and great tips, and so interesting, great stories, and so just thank you so much. I've really enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you. I enjoyed this conversation a lot.
And your English, by the way, is so good. It's amazing. Did I read on your website? Did you live in Dublin? Was it for a couple of years or?
Yes, that was one of the one of the crazy part of my life. Once I ended my university, once I got my university degree, I just bought a one-way ticket to Dublin. Never been there before.
Okay, well,
let's see how it goes.
Wow, that is crazy.
At the time, there were no Facebook, no nothing. I was trying to find my apartment through Daft online.
Okay.
And I ended up with strangers.
Why Dublin specifically? Why did you? I mean, I love Dublin. I've only been a few times, but why was it Dublin that you wanted to go to?
Because it was more of a practical reason, because I didn't have to, exchange money.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
Go and use euro and.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah.
Cool. What did you do for 2 years there then?
I worked for an airline, so I didn't stay a lot in Dublin. Yes, I spent 2 years there, but I was like taking a flight every time I could and travel the world, which was pretty. Yeah, I was jumping on planes, like taking the bus. It's crazy.
Wow, that's cool. It must have been. Is that where you're really, your great English must partly come from all that time then, I think?
I think so, because nobody was speaking Italian. So,
yeah.
At some point.
That's so cool.
I think I am losing it a little bit because, living in Italy, I should start watching cartoons in English with my daughters.
Yes, that's true.
To practice a little bit more.
Oh, but it's great. Your English is brilliant. And it must be a really good plus selling point as well for the vacation photography that you do, with the American families, knowing that the photographer that's going to be with them speaks English is a big plus.
It is. Otherwise, how could I engage with them?
Yeah, oh, exactly. So it's awesome. I'm just so impressed with how great your English is. I can't speak Italian at all, so I'm just always ashamed when I talk to people on podcasts and how they can speak English so well, and I'm just not very good with different languages. But anyway, Sara, thank you so much for all your time today. Honestly, I've just loved chatting to you. It's been awesome.
Thank you so much, Alan, for what you're doing, because what you've reached so far for all the community, it's absolutely amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I am really grateful for this.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for being such a massive part of it, and thank you for judging for us. I know we've not even got around to talking to you, but thank you so much for that, because I know there's a lot of images to go through as well. But I really appreciate that.
Thank you. It's been a very interesting experience for me.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. And sorry, we could just go on with so many more questions and answers, but
whenever you want.
Yeah, we should do a second one in about 6 months. We'll do a revisit. Sarah, I hope the international travel for holiday makers vacation, I hope that comes back soon, and I just wish you all the best for the year ahead. And I'll let you know when I'm back in Rome. That would be great to meet up for a coffee.
Great. Okay, that's perfect.
Keep well.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the 85th episode of the This is Reportage podcast. I really enjoyed talking to Sara there. Hope you enjoyed it too. Head to thisisreportagefamily.com or thisisreportage.com for a link to her website and to see the specific Reportage Family Award that she spoke about on the episode too. There's also a link there through to the blog post Sara wrote for us, which is all about her top tips for becoming an award-winning photographer. A really great read. We have lots more episodes of the podcast available, where we speak to family and wedding photographers from all over the world, delve into our back catalogue to hear from the likes of Stefana Ferrell, Marika Tzvat-Scholten, Emma Collins, Rowena Meadows, Lisa Hu Chen, Nika Kudike, Stephen Rooney, Frank Boutonnet, Stephen Hareshaft, Liam Shaw of York Place Studios, Ross Harvey, Tyler Workin, and many more too. If you're not yet a member of This Reportage or This Reportage family, check out all the benefits of joining us, including an unlimited number of images on your profile, 60 individual award and 18 story award entries per year, invites to our physical meetups and parties, exclusive discounts, hours of educational videos featuring tips and advice from some of the world's best photographers, and much more too. There's just over 1 week left to submit to our next award collections. The deadline is the same for both our wedding site and our family site. Submit by 23:59 BST on 24th of July 2021. No poses, nothing staged. This is Reportage. And this is bye for now.